I literally just sat down to record. Actually, I had started recording and then I saw you sent me a voicemail memo and I was like, this is more important. And so now I'm responding in kind with the good lighting and the good beat. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is hautemesstom and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you are new here, my channel is all about loving my collection as it is, being critical of new makeup releases, and also being very considerate about what we bring into our makeup collection. Today we are going to be doing Critical SASS, which is where I talk about new makeup releases in a fun, sassy way. We're critical of things that deserve to be critical of. We enjoy things that we want to enjoy. So if this kind of content sounds good to you, I would love to have you stick around for the full video. And if you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe and make sure you like this video before you leave today. And also, I'm on Patreon. What, the Midwest? Where did that come from? I only lived in the Midwest. Well, is Pittsburgh the Midwest? That's a to be determined question that I don't know the answer to. But I'm also on Patreon if you would like to support me there. So today, if you're familiar with my content, if you are a longtime subscriber, we are in a different corner of my room. Now, this is like my Shawn Mendes shrine, so you can kind of like see the bottom of it. And I set up everything, and I was like, it didn't really work out the way I had intended on it working. So, just pretend you can see it all. Maybe we'll do a wide shot at the end or something. But there's a picture of me and Shawn. There's this stuff. I bought this from his photographer from the Met Gala, and then there's a poster. So. I guess that might be new information to my YouTube channel, but big Shawn Mendes fan, enjoy his music, enjoy his aesthetic, and that's all you need to know. Let's talk about some new makeup releases. I'm so excited. I saved a bunch of stuff. Also, today, Influencer sent me the new Makeup Forever HD foundation. First impression thoughts, really enjoyed it. I used a brush today and I put creams on top of it and used brushes with the cream products and it all seemed to hold up. So there you go. First impressions, don't you worry. A full video review is coming. It's coming. It's coming. So know that. State of that. What's so interesting is that I wasn't expecting it because Influencer never sends me anything. Well, they did send me a coffee machine once, like an espresso. And it's great. It's great. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my Instagram. So the sources I use whenever I'm pulling from these are a couple of Instagram accounts. I use Makeup Release Radar, Trend Mood 1, and Beauty News. And occasionally I'll use Chic Profile Official for more bougie things, but I don't think I have anything from her today. That's where these come from. That's where these images also come from. I will link all of those Instagrams down below if you were interested in checking them out. If you don't already know about those Instagrams, go ahead. Now let's get started. I thought I saved a lot more things than I did, but I guess that is not true. Now, first thing that I want to talk about for this video is that Hershey's Kisses collaborated with Glamlite. And I think that these are really cute. And I am not normally one for these collaborations between like corporations with corporations, right? Like Glamlite and Hershey Kisses. However, these are like aesthetically just so adorable. And I realized that I really crapped on the kimchi chic ones in my last Critical SASS, but these don't look too invasive. Like they look like they would fit in my drawer in a reasonable way. Before I move on, is this anything I would ever intend on buying? No, absolutely not. I just think it's really cute. I've heard really great things about Glamlite's formula, and these monochromatic palettes are just really cute. And I understand that that's kind of the gig that happens with Glamlite, is that they put out these monochromatic palettes in like kind of different formats. I love the packaging. I think it's so cute. It's just like, it's like adorable. It's adorable. I think the purple monochromatic one is very, very pretty. Like if I were to buy one, I think the purple one would be the one I would go with. The pink one is like cute, but like not my jam. The neutral one, I don't know. I think they could have maybe done something more texturally interesting with the neutral one. And then they have the one that's like more goldy. That one is okay. But I just think that, and if they come in those bags, if the palette comes in those like cute little bags that you see behind them, all bets are off. The theming incredible, impeccable. And I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this done really like this well. I just think it looks really pretty. And again, the quality I've heard tell. Never personally have tried Glamlite. Is supposedly there most of the time. Honestly, what a I can't believe I'm saying this about like a collection like this, but like smash hit. Like I have no I have no complaints about it. I think they did a really great job. I would love to be sassy and say something not nice about it, but I actually really think I think these are cute. Moving on to something I have a little bit more of a complex feeling about. Kaleidos announced their Smokey Nostalgia collection. Okay, so I filmed this last night, and Kaleidos hadn't shown any of the products beyond what you can see in the promotional image that I'm going to put into the video. So now I have seen the whole collection. It's fine. I think the blush pans look really small, which I don't think I say in this video. However, it looks like a fine collection, but I think everything I say remains to be true, even having not seen the collection. So I'm just going to let you hear my thoughts on this promotional image and what I took from it there. Now, I don't believe that we have all of the things on display. So it looks like there's maybe 2 quads, or maybe just the one, and they have it open and then also closed in this photo. Maybe 4 blushes. There is a blush that is open. Typical with their releases, it looks like there will be 4 lip products. I imagine they're all going to be grays and blacks, but I feel like don't they already have a black lipstick that got released with the Apple collection? I could be wrong. It could be wrong. So at first I was like, ooh, a smoky palette, but then I remembered I have the Tom Ford quad that I really like, that no one else likes, the Badass quad. I'm kind of good on a smoky quad, so I wouldn't need that, but like I'm kind of interested in the blushes, and I always am interested into trying. I have yet to try anything from Kaleidos. I got excited because of the aesthetic of it, because it was like, ooh, goth, ooh, dark, ooh, smoky, ooh, what fun. And I always think I want to be a smoky girl, although I'm pretty smoky today. But I always think I really want to be a smoky girl, like, and really do the smoky thing, and I just am not. But I love black lipstick, so maybe I don't have a black lipstick right now. I don't need a black lipstick either. That's the thing, is like I really like black lipstick, and I actually end up pulling it out a lot whenever I do have one in my collection. And I'm always into like a vampy lip, more so in my brain than in practice, because I just normally just pull out a nude lip gloss that's like my aesthetique, because I'm lazy, really. That's what it boils down to there, is that like I just don't have the to do a vampy look. Anyway, I'm curious about this, but I think I was actually more excited about the Apple collection, which was just lipsticks. And I don't know. I know that Kaleidos has it in them, that they're gonna give me the thing that I want, right? And I don't want to pull the trigger prematurely. And it's like one of those things that I'll know it when I see it. And the closest they've gotten to me, as far as eyeshadows go, was the Flower Punk collection, which I really like that eyeshadow palette. I think it looks really pretty. I did miss the Club Nebula palette, and I do kind of regret that, but there was like a period at the beginning of last year where I was like in a little bit of a disarray as far as like what I was doing makeup wise and what I wanted to buy. It was like very much the first half of the year. I felt like I was playing like catch up and like finally buying all of the things that I wanted in makeup. And then of course, I did my no buy for the second half of last year, so it's all about balance. So I'm curious about this. I think that these are it's probably going to be a very nice smoky quad, and if you are someone who wears a lot of smoky eyes and wants to try Kaleidos, I think this is maybe a good bet. I would not pull the trigger on the blushes until I heard other people talk about them. That's kind of where I'm at with them. But I also just like blushes, like not something that I'm like, it would have to be like a very curious shade for me to feel like I need to buy a blush, right? Like it would have to be like a shade that no other brand has, like a shade that I've never seen before. And it would have to be cool toned because all of my blushes are warm toned. And I simply cannot keep buying warm toned blushes. I do need some cool toned ones because whenever you do a cool toned eye look, the warm tone blush looks a little bit terrible with it. Maybe a blush once we see some reviews, once we hear some things. Kaleidos, I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out for the one from you. And while I think this is beautiful, it isn't the one for me. Fenty, I think these are already released. Yes, they are the Fenty Icon Semi Matte Refillable Lipstick from Fenty Beauty. Trend Moon says, high pigment, low maintenance reds and neutrals for all, designed to be refillable, semi-matte, creamy formula, hugs lips with a smooth, plush texture, and long-lasting iconic wear. The lipstick bullet shape is inspired by Rihanna's Cupid's bow for precise application, inspired with moisture plumping, hyaluronic acid, and conditioning vitamin C and E, lip-loving amino acid technology for plush texture. 10 shades, $20 each, $12 case. Well, how much is a refill? Also, congratulations, Rihanna, on your pregnancy announcement. Congratulations to you and that man you were with, whose name I cannot think of. Are these shades revolutionary? No, but they did say nudes, right? And so people love nudes, and I actually think like a semi-matte is like pretty nice. Like I like the idea of a semi-matte. I will tell you this, but after those Mademoiselle lipsticks, I don't know that I trust Fenty with like a lipstick product, because I can't believe that product actually like made it through testing. It was not good, and they faded. They were bad. They had like they were crusty crust, and they like stayed on the shelves forever, and they like were marked down for a really long time. Like it's just like we couldn't really give them away. They were like not good. They were not. They were just decidedly not good. Whenever someone asked for a matte lipstick, I would never take them there at Sephora, because I was like, they're just not good. Higher hopes for these, I would say. I think the packaging is really pretty, and I love the idea of it being refillable, but I think if we're gonna take the route to make it a refillable item, then we should make a very conscious effort to make sure that all of the parts of the component that we are replacing are recyclable. And it looks like there's a lot of plastic involved, which, you know, I'm not the most eco-friendly. I don't know all of the ins and outs of that, but that's just like my first thought is like, you're clearly making it refillable to try to appeal to people who are being eco-conscious. However, if the way you are trying to be eco-conscious isn't, that doesn't really matter, right? Like, of course, you're not throwing a whole bullet away. That's definitely less waste, but it's also like, if we're going to try to make a zero waste item, let's make it a zero waste item. The colors are really pretty. I really like that deep burgundy, but I do have something to say. And now, while I understand that Fenty is Rihanna's beauty line, I don't really care that the shape of the lipstick is in her Cupid's bow, because one, it's not going to stay in that shape. I don't know that I have any lipstick that hasn't turned into a round nubbin with enough use. Like, I lose that point immediately. Am I putting my lipstick on wrong? Probably. I don't know. I don't know what's the right way to put on lipstick. Do you know what I mean? Like, I personally, I don't believe there is one, so don't take that as like gospel. I don't think there's like a right or wrong way to put on. Like, if you turn it upside down, I don't even care. Whatever you need to do to make the lipstick work for you, do what you need to do. It's like a boring release, but I think that they discontinued those Mademoiselles. I feel like we are losing a little bit of luster with Fenty, where it's like, I feel like at first we had like a lot of innovation. We were doing a lot of fun colors. I think we've kind of like lost that affliction for that type of product, right? Like, this is pretty basic. I would love to see the Fenty brand maybe pull out all the stops and do something with like a ka-chow with it. Anyway, that's not to say I wouldn't like try one of these or wouldn't buy one of these, but I'm not gonna run out to get it. They don't have any shades that tickle my fancy, because all of the neutrals are really like warm leaning, and I would like something a little bit grungier. Okay, more foundation to talk about. So Kosas is releasing their Revealer Skin Improving Foundation, 25 SPF. It's a clean, skin-loving, medium coverage SPF foundation and treatment with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalene, vitamin B5, arnica, and caffeine. I've said this before on my channel, and I'm going to say it again. Well, I love that there's and it's not to say that I don't think that there should be skin nourishing ingredients in foundation. Like, yeah, definitely we should be making foundations with ingredients that are like good for the skin, right? But like, let's not get it twisted. Like, your foundation is not your skincare. I like that foundations that have SPF in them, because that does kind of save you a step. But you also have to keep in mind that your SPF is only, the efficacy of it is only for so long, right? So it's only like the first hour of your day. And if you are being consistent with your SPF, you have to find other ways to get SPF on your face after that initial run time. I love that there's SPF in the foundation, but always keep that in mind, right? Like any foundation that has an SPF in it, you have a countdown on how long that's good, and it's like 60 to 80 minutes, right? Anyway, moving along. So like, I don't know why we have niacinamide in here. I don't understand that, like, that's something that you have to like use over a long period of time to see results. And I guess if you're using the foundation, but like if you're interested in niacinamide, you're not going to put that over top of moisturizer, right? Because your moisturizer is always kind of already kind of creating a barrier. And if you are someone who uses primer, then you have the niacinamide has to get through all of your other skincare to get to your face. And it's just like not going to happen, right? And that's why I don't think that there should be skincare in foundation, because you shouldn't be using foundation as skincare. Okay, sorry. That aside, Kosas, their branding, what they're about, kind of misses me. And listen, I always say like Glossier, I use Glossier as like a touch point because it's like a certain aesthetic that it's like self-standing, it's freestanding, and it's like very easy to relate back to because people know the aesthetic of Glossier, right? So Kosas and Glossier kind of like go hand in hand, especially with like the new brow packaging stuff that they've been doing. It's feeling very like girl boss, and I just like don't really like that. I'm imagining, as most brands who are like skin focused, whenever they release a complexion product, it's all yellow. It's all yellow. Just like high-end brands, it's all like so warm leaning or yellow leaning. So I probably couldn't even find a shade for myself here. I will say it does seem that the range is like, with the 4 different depths that they provide, like the light, medium, tan, deep, they all have the same amount of shades. So there's that. But I'm not running out to buy this. I'm not excited about this. I did, at some point, I think in Gratis, I did get the Kosas skin tint oil. I don't know why people like it. It like never worked for me. It's like not it. It's not it. And I really like radiant thing. It just like wasn't it. Like I can normally make that work, but like that wasn't it. And also the shade was wrong. Dose of Colors is releasing like a Valentine's Day collection called the Love Starts With You collection. Heart Cheeks Cream Blush Sticks, Heart Eyes Eyeshadow Palette, and the Opposites Attract 2-in-1 lip pairs. I think this is like a very adorable release for Valentine's Day, and I think it just kind of fits the theme really well. It looks like they're like displaying this in like a PR box situation, so the PR box is like cute. Like it's like a geometrical heart, and the blush sticks are in a heart shape, and the palette is just a quad, which I like really appreciate, but it's like themed a little bit better because like Natasha Denona did like a Valentine's Day quint. I don't know, it's like, it's just pink, right? You know, there's no special packaging. I just think this is really adorable. I have never tried Dose of Colors. This doesn't make me want to try Dose of Colors, but like it has like all of the good things about like a Valentine's Day thing, and like it's like not too red and it's not too pink. It just kind of sits like in a very pretty neutral place, just that has Valentine's Day theming, which I can appreciate. I probably would never touch those like lip products with like a 10-foot pole. This kind of look like a nightmare to me, but like I think that the palette swatched looks really pretty even on deep skin tones. It looks really good. The blush sticks look pretty. Again, don't need another blush. Specifically, don't need a blush in a cream formula anywhere near me at this point because I have so many cream products that I like need to start hustling through because I really love cream products and then I keep buying them. But the thing is, am I using them? Not as much as I should be. Let's continue. I pulled this before I feel like my influencer emails do not come to me. Like I always see the surveys, but whenever they email me about sending me something, I don't get it. And if you've never done Influencer, it's like anyone can do it. Like it's not because I have a channel or any kind of greater influence than anyone else. It's just like if you have an Instagram, if you have, depending on what social medias you have, you're applicable to different things. But this one is like I needed to have a TikTok, I think, and an Instagram. Anyway, you have to like go activate your Voxbox once you like get it in the mail. And I went to go get it so I can start posting about it. It wasn't in my like influencer to use to post about. Anyway, this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. Undetectable, instantly blurs, 24-hour wear, natural, true to skin finish in 40 shades. It's available on February 17th. I read the instructions. It didn't say I couldn't post about this. Because one time I did get something from Influencer and they were like, you can't talk about this yet. Okay, anyway, I guess I should really hustle on getting that review together. I guess maybe in a different light, we'll talk about my use, how I used it today and what I thought. So I used a brush application and I used it on top of the Urban Decay All Nighter Primer. And it had really good coverage. And what I would say that I was really surprised by is it like covered my redness really well for being medium coverage. But it doesn't feel like heavy, right? It's not like it felt any heavier, but like it had great coverage for medium. Like, and I would still say it was medium coverage. You can still see like all of my like moles on my face, right? So it's not like it took away, like didn't flatten my face completely. So I really liked it. It's been a long time since I had used the other Ultra HD foundation. This is like a reformulation to replace the Ultra HD. From what I can remember, that was actually like the first foundation I ever bought was the Ultra HD foundation. It feels similar, but again, I wasn't a diehard. It's been a long time since I used it, but I really liked it. And I would say that so far, based on my first impression, I really enjoyed using this foundation today, but I'm excited to give it my vigorous testing that I like to do whenever I am talking about a new foundation that to me or reviewing foundation in general. So be on the lookout for a full review of this soon. I'm glad I have it because it would have been a foundation that I would have been inkling to try either way. I swear to God, it was so interesting that like I pulled it and then now I have it on my face. Like that's a thing. I'm talking about a new release and I have it on my face. My goodness. Who am I? I'm an influencer. Let's move on to an eyeshadow palette because I feel like everyone likes eyeshadow palettes and I'm so just like not in the mood for eyeshadows right now. However, I found one that I was interested in. It's from Nomad Cosmetics. It's the Nomad Lodge. And it's inspired by the snow lodges of Whistler and its incredible mountainous landscape. This color story is all about après ski chic. Remember the après ski palette from Becca? Wasn't it? It wasn't it. So it's interesting in swatches because I think that was like I saw the swatches and I was like, oh, what an interesting color story. Now, famously on my channel, I've talked a lot about how I hate like a blue color story, but in my last Critical SASS, I really liked a blue color story. And today, I like a blue color story. I know nothing about Nomad Cosmetics. I've never even heard someone else talk about Nomad Cosmetics to my best knowledge, so I have no idea what the formula may be like from them. But I do think this is really pretty. Would it add anything to my collection? No. Do I think it's inspiring enough for me to want to add to my collection? Also, no. But it did make me stop for a second and go, oh, wow, that's pretty. And sometimes it's really hard for a brand to make me do that with eyeshadows. So I think this is really pretty. Am I going to follow its career with any interest? No, probably not. But I also sometimes, even when I'm doing Critical SASS, even if it's not something that I'm interested in or something that I even want to spend a lot of time talking about, when it's like from a brand that I'm not familiar with, I just like also am using it to be like, hey, look at this thing. You might be very interested in this thing and this might speak to your soul way more than it speaks to mine. And now you know it's a thing that you could buy if you were interested in it. But again, I'm not promoting buying everything, right? But like also it's very easy in this high turnover makeup cycle that we find ourselves in. This fast fashion cycle we found ourselves in the makeup business, the makeup industry. Sometimes you're going to miss some things. So I also like to like kind of post things to be like, did you slow down and see this thing? Anyway, very pretty. This is from BPerfect Cosmetics. It's the Manifest Aspire Face and Eye Palette, $29.67. This is for a very specific person, like one person. So there's 6 eyeshadows in it and 3 face products. And when the model's holding it next to her face, the palette looks enormous. Like, it does appear that though those face shades are full-size face shades. You get a full face brush in them with no problem. Now, I would never want these shades to work for me. This only comes in this one. It doesn't say, as far as I know, this comes in one color story, right? And so there are no options for deeper skin or lighter skin. This definitely looks like a palette that's probably going to be best suited for someone with like medium skin, which is fine. Of course, I want people with medium skin tones to get their joy and get their bliss. You're excluding most of the market by only curating something that can be fully used by someone with one skin tone. And I hate that. Stop. If you are going to put eyeshadows in something, do not also put face products in it. Because there is no universal face shade. There just isn't. You can't do it. You can't. It's not something that you can do. And it's either that or you have to make different variations of whatever palette you're trying to make, as if you want to keep the 6 eyeshadows the same and then sell 3 different face shades in it. Like, I just don't get it. If there's a person who's like the person on the go that would want this to be just their eye palette and their face palette, great. But BPerfect has excluded so many people from having that opportunity by creating it just like this. The other thing is, I don't know if BPerfect is like an American brand or where it comes from. So I don't know if this is something that is sold in stores. But if you're trying to get the person who only buys makeup once a year and wants like a one and done palette, how are they finding you? And that's like a legitimate question. Like, I don't understand brands that aren't sold in brick and mortar stores, if they are making like these easy products, right? Because the idea whenever I see something like this is that it's like, oh, when you only have one thing and you're like, it has my blush, it has my highlight, it has my bronzer, and it has the eyeshadows that I want to use. The people who are looking for something like this aren't the people like you and me who are like watching Trend Mood, watching all of these, watching other creators talk about new makeup releases. So how would they find out about this? Because those people are the people who shop at Target or at the drugstore. And obviously there's nothing wrong with buying your makeup at the drugstore. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just like they are much more casual consumers of makeup than us. So it's not like they're going to, how would they, I don't even know how I know of BPerfect. It's not the first time I've heard of BPerfect, but I've never bought anything from BPerfect. I don't know that I've even seen anyone talk about BPerfect other than on Trend Mood or Makeup Release Radar. So it's like, how would the normal consumer find them other than like Googling? But I also think that, like I said, people who are a very casual consumer of makeup would never really I would doubt they would order their makeup online. It'd be something they were like at Target, they were like, you know what, I need my powder. And then that would maybe be how they would stumble into something. They're not trying to look at all the shelves at the drugstore to even like find what they think might be better. They're like, I've heard of CoverGirl. They're grabbing the CoverGirl version of whatever thing they need. They're like, I have always used Revlon. I'm gonna buy the Revlon thing. You know, so it's like, I don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. Another eyeshadow palette that I was interested in, this is from True Luscious, which is, I believe, an indie brand. I don't know anything about them. Anyway, however, this palette is called their Flora Furiosa eyeshadow palette. Now, you know how I was just said at the top of this video that I really love like a grungy green moment, like a green and then like yellow, murky yellows to go with it, with like a murky brown and like maybe like a pink. You know, that's like kind of my niche color story. Like that's like always, like every time I see a palette that has like colors like that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy that. This feels to me like the blue version of like a grungy palette. These swatches speak to me. They inspire me. I love all of these colors together. Is it something that I want to buy? I mean, perhaps, like in another life, if I would have saw this, this feels like something I would have pulled the trigger on very quickly. I like that pink. I think these colors are so pretty. And I don't know what's going on with my brain. I'm like loving all of these blues and all these things, but like the things that stick out to me are the 2 blues. There's a matte blue and then there's like a shimmery blue, and I think they're so pretty. But then there's like a beautiful like green shimmer. Ooh, Ooh, it does, it's like, I think there's only 2 mattes in here. Excellent. Inspired color story. I'm into it. I love it. I think that's pretty. I don't know. This is gonna be a shorter episode of Critical Sass. This is the final thing that we're gonna talk about. Hourglass is releasing a Confessions Ultra Slim High Intensity Refillable Lipstick in the new shade At Night. I will buy this. I don't need to buy it at launch. This will be something that I own. I'm like breathing it in, breathing it out. Let me tell you, ever since I got the True Red or the Red Zero Confessions lipstick, it's like one of my favorite lipsticks, like formulas that I own, because it's very comfortable. It's like it's super pigmented. It goes on really easy. I like the slim stick, right? You do get a lot less product. That's like the flip side of that, but I just really like the way it feels on my lips. It's very comfortable. That's like what I want. Like, I love a comfort lip, right? That's why I pick glosses a lot. If I had long hair, I probably wouldn't like glosses as much as I do, but because I don't have long hair, the gloss, like, I have nothing sticking to the gloss. Anyway, so I love a comfort lip, right? I don't want a matte lip. That's not really what I'm into. Unless the matte is comfortable, which I'm willing to try, but like, long story short, is like much more into something glossy, something with a shine. At Night is my favorite blush that Hourglass makes. At Night is so pretty, and to see it in a lipstick shade makes me go, oh, it's just, I'm clenching my pearls. The shade is so pretty. And I do not gag over like lipstick shades like this, but I have the blush. I love the blush. I gotta have the lipstick that goes with it. Oh my God, and At Night all over the face. The idea of that makes me very, very happy. Incredible. Incredible. That is going to wrap up this video. As I said before, subscribing to me if you like this video would be like very cool. I would like really like that. And please like this video before you leave my channel. That would be cool. I'm also on Patreon if you want to support me there. That would be cool. Also, dear patrons, I have a special video coming to you this week. It's not what I normally do. So if you are interested in this video, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to be doing half of my face with my Sonia G brushes, which I bought, and I'm going to do the other half of my face with the brushes that I would normally use, just to do like a compare and contrast. Also as research for my final thoughts as I'm formulating thoughts on my Sonia G brushes, just to see how they do compared to my other things in real time on my face. So that's coming to you patrons sometime soon. I have to wash all of my brushes to then film that video because my brushes are looking rough. There's a lot of product in them, and I want to start fresh for that video. Anyway, patrons, that's coming soon. Also, if you enjoy my voice and would like to spend more time listening to it, my podcast, Recollect with my friend Tiffany, where we talk about music from the past, music history. We look at compilations of music and go through every song in that countdown or that list or that compilation of music and decide whether every song is a bop or a stop. That's exclusive to Spotify, which we are not thrilled about, by the way. We don't love that that's how things shook out, but we had already got things in motion for the podcast long before that happened, and literally like a couple days before our relaunch was when everything hit the fan at Spotify. So we are on Spotify because the way we do things is that it's the only way that we can legally use music in our podcast, and that's how we have to do it. So please check us out. It's a lot of fun, and if we could have done it any other way, we would be doing it. But unfortunately, that's the way things have shaken out at this time. So we'd really appreciate you to check that out on Spotify. Again, don't love that. Do you think that YouTube is going to censor this video because I talked about Spotify? I feel like that's a thing that YouTube would do to me. Although I feel like I'm at the bottom of the barrel anyway. They're like, oh, what? A queer person? No. I'm going to shut up now. If you want to know all the details about my face, those will also be down below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find that down below. Basically, anything you want to know, find down below. Don't say anything about my nails. Don't you dare say anything about my nails down in the comments. I appreciate you all so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. And remember to follow your haute, and you will find me. Bye. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Friends.